الحمد
Chapter
لله
3. Al-Khidr.
الحمد لله الحمد
Al-Khidr.
لله الحمد
I hear another
لله
name, a person whom Moses met who, as the Quran states, knew more than Moses at the time.
الحمد لله
The story of Moses with this knowledgeable person is an interesting story that I'm not sure I could find in references in English, but I can discuss him in here. Moses was asked whether he is the most knowledgeable person in the world, and he said that he was. God was upset and told Moses that there is another person who knows better than he does. Moses asks God to tell him how to find this person, and God tells him to take a whale during his journey and go towards a specific location. And as soon as Moses loses the whale, he would find the person. Thus, Moses became agitated and wanted to meet this person. He told Joshua, son of Nun, Yusha, son of Nun, that he wouldn't stop until he reaches the location. Moses then set out with Joshua, and after a while, Joshua lost the whale around the place that God told them to go, but he forgot to tell Moses. Then they got tired, so Moses asked Joshua to give him the food, where Joshua told him that he had lost the whale a while back. Moses tells him that this is what God told him, that he would lose the whale and find the person. So they went back to where Joshua lost the whale and found the person who is referred to in Muslim historiography as Al-Khidr. Moses wanted to follow Al-Khidr to learn from him, but Al-Khidr told him, "You will not be patient with me." And he said, "If you follow me, do not ask any questions." Moses agreed not to ask any questions. But then, the moment that they got on a yacht, Al-Khidr poked a hole in it. Then Moses asked him why he did that, and he was not supposed to do that. Al-Khidr told him, "I said you will not be patient." Moses apologized for forgetting his promise. Then, when they were walking, Al-Khidr saw a child and killed him. Moses said that it was a mischievous thing to kill an innocent child. Al-Khidr told him again, "I told you that you cannot be patient." Moses again apologized and told him that if he is asked any more questions, Moses will not follow him anymore. So they went and they entered a city. They asked the inhabitants for food, but none of them gave them any food. But they saw a wall that was going to fall down. Al-Khidr repaired it. Moses said that he should have asked the citizens for payment for the wall. Then Al-Khidr said that they should now separate, as Moses could not be patient for any of these incidents. Afterwards, he explained that the yacht, which he poked a hole in, belonged to some poor people. But the king was going through looking at yachts to confiscate. So he poked a hole in this one so that it would be disliked by the king. The child whom he killed was a son of two righteous people. So he killed him in hopes that God will grant them another more pious child. The wall, which he repaired, had a buried treasure underneath it, and it belonged to two orphans in the city. God wanted those orphans to become adults and benefit from this treasure. The story of Al-Khidr with Moses tells us that even prophets of God did not know more than other humans. Instead, they were granted knowledge that is sufficient for them to deliver the message they have from God to the people. Sometimes I find comfort in playing video games rather than studying. I feel like what we teach in our universities does not befit a lot of people. It is only useful for universities and for the classes in which it is written. Sometimes I even receive a bad grade on some paper I personally like, which makes me question whether or not I should be writing out of passion anymore.
الحمد لله الحمد
The
لله
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
الحمد
I
لله
remember hearing that this movie or book was banned in Muslim countries,
الحمد
or that it
لله
received
الحمد
very negative
لله
feedback from Muslim viewers for some reason. I did
الحمد
not know the reason, so I watched the movie and ascribed some ideas to
الحمد
it. The
لله
hunchback is half
الحمد
blind because he used to ring the bells in the
الحمد
church.
لله
However, he wrote a
الحمد
book that is
لله
600 pages
الحمد
long.
لله
The goat's name is Jali,
الحمد
which is also similar to the word for liar or deceiver in Arabic, Dajjal. The goat can trick people for money. It is said that it is a fictional story with fictional characters, but to me, it had pointers as a story that goes against Islam. The Cathedral of Notre Dame was said to have burned in 2019, which shows how annoyed Muslims are with the cathedral and the declarations regulations against women in Paris. I just went to watch the movie and grew hateful of it. I did not know that the cathedral was in Paris before, or I did, but I didn't remember. After it burned, JNS says that Islamists worldwide celebrated the destruction of the cathedral. It also states that it was the major point of origin for the Crusaders. It does seem as though Victor Hugo wrote a book against Islam, whether it is due to France's hatred towards Muslims or for whichever other reason. I have not read much about the details of the destruction of the cathedral, but I know for a fact that that was a sign from God against polytheism.
الحمد
In
لله
essence, watching The Hunchback of Notre Dame troubled me.
الحمد
In any event,
لله
I honestly hate this
الحمد
topic.